Before the game, the Athletics made a trade as they sent B-potential third base prospect Matt Chapman and relief pitcher Jim Johnson to the Atlanta Braves in return for two relief pitchers, right-hander Arodys Vizcaino and left-hander Alex Torres. Here at the Coliseum, the 56-37 first place Oakland Athletics played host to the 38-55 Minnesota Twins. The Freak, Tim Lincecum, got the nod for the A's. He's 8-7 with a 4 ERA and 18 games started. And in the top half of the second, Joe Mauer would launch a laser over the right field fence. Dyson doesn't even give it a try, as it's a solo shot from Joe Mauer, makes it a 1-0 Twins lead. And then Trevor Plouffe would come up with nobody out, draws a full count walk, so he takes his base. Trevor Plouffe on first base sets up Eddie Rosario, who also has a full count, and his results in a walk as well. So he would take his base, sets up first and second with nobody out for Max Kepler, and he would proceed to ground out a second. Fernandez tries to turn two, he's too slow, so he decides just to go to first, and that sets up second and third with one out for Kurt Suzuki, the former Athletic, who takes a pitch past Zambrano at third. One run would come in, the throw from Canna was enough to hold the runner up at third, so it sets up runners on the corners for Eduardo Nunez as he takes an 0-2 pitch to second. Fernandez tries to turn two, but Nunez is able to beat it out of the back end, and it makes it a 3-0 Twins lead as a run comes in to score. Rick in Alaska working with a 3-run lead for his Twins. Got the nod for the Twins, as in the bottom half of the second, Stephen Vogt picks up a base knock right up the middle. He would take his base, and then Canna would come up with one out, and a passed ball would get past Suzuki, so Vogt moves up to second base, and then Canna would end up striking out. So with two outs, Walter Zambrano hits a ball right back up the middle into center field. Vogt tries to turn those catcher legs, second to home. The throw is just not in time as Vogt avoids the tag. It's a 3-1 ball game. So then bottom half of the third now as Gerard Dyson gets things started off with a single into right field. And the Speed Demon's on first base, and you know what he does. He goes and swipes second as the pop time from Suzuki was slow, and he goes uncontested. It's a 3-1 count now, and Billy Burns slaps one into the left center field gap that'll roll up against the wall. Dyson scores easily. That's an RBI double for Billy Burns. 3-2 ball game now. And then Jose Fernandez would come up, hit one right up the middle on the breaking curveball, or the hanging curveball, and Burns would be able to score just barely in front of the tag, so that's an RBI single for Fernandez. It's a 3-3 tie. Then Solarte comes up, rips one right down the right field line, barely lands fair, rolls up against the wall. Fernandez goes first to third. Solarte has a double, sets up second and third with one out for Matt Olson. A passed ball to the fence. Suzuki would have to go back for it. He had no play on Fernandez, who came in to score. 4-3 A's lead. In the top of the fourth, big-time Timmy Jim would pick up a 1-2-3 inning as he strikes out Plouffe for out number 1. For out number 2, strikes out Rosario. And for out number 3, he strikes out Max Kepler on the breaking ball. So 1-2-3 inning as big-time Timmy Jim settles into a groove there. And then in the bottom half of the fifth, Billy Burns would come to the plate, hit one right back up the middle, hit that one on the button as he gets that into center field for a single. And then Burns is on first base, Solarte's at the plate, and Burns proceeds to steal second base as he avoids the tag. Gets himself into scoring position. Solarte would end up popping out into the infield, but then Chris Day with his two outs lines one down the left field line, and that proceeds to score Billy Burns, but Davis gets tagged up on the back end as he tries to turn it into two. Arodys Vizcaino making his A's debut in the top half of the seventh gets Trevor Plouffe to strike out as he would dominate that inning with a 1-2-3 inning, and then the top half of the eighth, Alex Torres makes his debut. The left-hander facing Eduardo Nunez with one out gets him the strikeout and the cutter that almost breaks his bat if he would have made contact. And then in the top half of the ninth, Sean Doolittle comes on, and with runner on second and two outs, gets Plouffe to ground it up the middle. Solarte cuts it off, tosses over to first on the run, and that is your ball game, as the Oakland Athletics win this one by a score of 5-3, as that is how the cookie crumbles. Here is the Athletics improve to 57-37, and the Twinkies drop to 38-56. Billy Burns gets player of the game honors as he went 2 for 4 with an RBI double. Matt Olson also 2 for 4. So is Yangervis Solarte, while Jared Dyson went 2 for 3. Lincecum is now 9-7 on the season as he gets the victory. Sean Doolittle now 32 saves on the year, and Ricky Nolasco now drops to 0-2 after this 5-3 victory for the Athletics over the Twins. As that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of Oakland Athletics Baseball. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
He's a grown man. He's a grown man. These are heroes. Please don't call them Twinkies. In the fall of '87, I was pretty much in heaven. I got my license and a girlfriend. The Twins had won a pennant. I prayed more in the dome than I ever did at church. Kirby Puckett had the smile. Ken Herbeck had the smirk.